Greetings, good people. Happy Wednesday. It's Hot Topics time. It's October 11th. The year is 2023. And Jada Pinkett is trending, honey, because she admitted in an interview that she and Will Smith have been separated for 7 years. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Okay. So that is the main event on today's Hot Topics lineup. I also want to talk about Britney Spears. Quick little update. Our girl Britney is out here living her life, and I'm very concerned. All right. JT, one half of the City Girls, could possibly be going solo. Hmm? What do you guys think about that? All right, y'all, as you're coming in, please like the video. That is your admission fee. Make sure you chat back with me in the comments below. Let's get into today's hot topics. First up, our girl Cutting Brittany. Cutting Brittany done got pulled over by the cops, and then she ended up getting a ticket. Okay, so when I saw this, before I read the article, I said to myself, no license, no insurance, and she got a ticket. Usually that's grounds for them to take your car and possibly arrest you, right? Guess depends on where you live. Well, she was actually pulled over by officers in Ventura County. In Ventura County, that's I guess where she lives, where she got cited for two infractions, according to court records. Right, one of the violations was for driving without a valid license in her possession. The other was for driving without proof of insurance. Okay, when I saw that, I said, all right, so she didn't have her driver's license on her and she didn't have her insurance card on her, because when these officers run your plates, they can see that your car is or is not registered. They can see whether your license is suspended. They can see who the vehicle is registered to. They can also see if the car is insured, if you have valid insurance. So they basically gave her a ticket for not having these items in her possession, which I think is something that they should do away with. If you run my tags, you can see whether or not I'm riding dirty. Just because I may not have my insurance card on me doesn't mean that I don't have valid insurance, right? Most people have their insurance cards on their phone. You know, we're in the digital age, so everything has an app where you can download your cards. I'm old school, okay? I still print my cards out and keep them in my vehicle, all right? So basically, the reason she got pulled over is because Miss Brittany was speeding in her new Mercedes, honey. She was going 61 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. All right. She was cooperative during the stop. This is according to TMZ. And she was giving a warning for speeding. All right. Must be nice. Fortunately for her, she'll be able to deal with the infractions by paying a fine by October 24th. And the total that she owes is $1,140. And that's for, damn, that's just for driving without your insurance card in your possession and your driver's license in your possession, even though she's a licensed and insured driver. $1,000. Oh my. Now you guys know that Britney, she has been trending because she always dancing in her little underwears. She was dancing with knives the other day. I'm pretty sure she'll do a dance dedicated to getting pulled over. Now, if she shows up in a cop outfit and she starts twirling around, I am going to holler. What do you guys think about Britney Spears? You think that she's okay? All this dancing she doing online, do you think that she's doing it for attention because she knows it gets the people going? Or do we really have to call home because Britney's in trouble? You know, I don't know. All right, up next, JT, one half of the City Girls. She recently did an interview with Interview magazine. First of all, she looks stunning. These are just some of the photos from the photo shoot that she did. And she looks absolutely beautiful. So during an interview with Interview magazine, JT, she talked about not feeling like she's showcased her individuality as an artist. She says, I have yet to be in a place that I'm individually solidified. City Girls' next album is about to drop, and I want to put out that project and then sort everything out individually. Okay. She went on to talk about the nominations that she rightfully deserves, but hasn't been able to receive because she's not in her own space. She says, I have the talent, but I'm not really in my own space to the point that I'm nominated. And those are things that I want to see for myself. All right. She says that she's thankful that recent collaborations and her work with the City Girls has grown her audience and listener counts. Yes, because her streams on Spotify are very, very high. And I thought that that was very, very interesting, considering that the City Girls brand is a pretty strong brand. Anyway, she said that she's ready to explore what it's like garnering that with her own solo projects. Okay, JT says that the music industry can be draining, but she wants to get back to a place where she believed in herself like she did during her breakout season. She said we stopped believing in ourselves how we was when we had nothing and our backs was against the wall. She said now we're up against bigger machines, but I want to get back into that space, like tunnel vision. So basically, I keep saying Jay-Z. I've been saying it like all morning. JT wants to get that hunger back, like she had when she and her group mate, Young Miami, got into the game. She was hungry, and she wants to put all of that energy into her solo project. Now, does this mean that the City Girls are going to be breaking up? I hope not. I mean, both of them are doing their things separately, and they have been performing together. They were performing at festivals all over during the summer, and they recently performed at the BET Hip Hop Awards. So I don't know. I think the City Girls brand is strong, and I think that both of them should leverage that, right, that they built and launch, their individual things. I don't see anything wrong with JT wanting to spread her wings and do her own thing. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Now, is that going to be a problem with your record label? You might owe the record company one last City Girls album, and then what happens then? Is your contract up? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But I don't think it's safe to say that the City Girls are breaking up. I don't think they should make an official statement that they're breaking up. Just separately do your things, keep the brand alive. It's a strong brand, and it could help you in your solo efforts. It's helped Young Miami in her solo efforts. JT, do the same. I was wondering earlier today, I said to myself, I wonder if she has solid people around her, encouraging her in a good way to, strengthen her brand and to be concerned with her image. And is she being inspired positively to put out new music and things like that? Because I don't know. There's snakes everywhere. So I hope that she does what's best for her and what's best for her brand and the brand as the City Girls. But I don't think people are going to mentally separate either one of them from the brand, the City Girls. So I don't know. I hope she knows what she's doing, and it's going to be very important for her to surround herself with people who are going to elevate her and her career in this shady business. All right, y'all. And now for our feature presentation. Okay. This is a article that was posted by People Magazine. Jada Pinkett she's written a book, and she is on a press tour, y'all. All right. So she is talking about everything. She's talking about being separated from Will Smith for the past 7 years, the infamous Oscar slap, and her path to self-acceptance. So let's get into this article. Here we go. Jada Pinkett whispers to herself. The Los Angeles photo studio is quiet. Jada is about to speak about her life and what a life it has been up to this point. From the streets of Baltimore, where she sold drugs, to the zenith of Hollywood. And it's there, right at the very height of moviedom, front row, at the Academy Awards in 2022, where she watched her husband, Will Smith, slap Chris Rock on the Oscar stage on live television after Rock made a joke about Jada's shaved head. She lives with alopecia. Well, that's what the silence is about. She gets it. Jada knows everyone has been waiting 18 months for her to say something. Here it is. I thought this is a skit. Like many people watching the incident unfold on live TV, she didn't believe that it was real at first. She says, I was like, there's no way that Will hit him. It wasn't until Will started to walk back to the chair that I even realized it wasn't a skit. The first words she uttered to Will once they were alone at the show were, "Are you okay?" The answer is a work in progress, one that Jada has written about, among many other topics, including her difficult childhood and their complicated marriage, in her riveting new book, Worthy, out October 17th. She says, I'm going to be by his side. but also allow him to have to figure this out for himself. Figure it out for himself. My God. But Jada, as she details in her book, had quite a life before March 27, 2022. Perhaps lives is a better way to put it. I was living a lot of them at one time. The daughter of parents with substance abuse issues, Jada survived a tough Baltimore childhood to show immense promise as a performer. She studied theater for 1 year at North Carolina School for the Arts before making her way to Hollywood and landing a TV role in A Different World and in films such as Set It Off, Menace to Society, The Nutty Professor, Collateral, and The Matrix. And don't forget about Low Down Dirty Shame and Jason's Lyric. Thank you. Continuing on, of course, along the way, she met a hot young actor named Will. After meeting multiple times in passing, and once he got divorced from his first wife, he called Jada and asked, "Who are you going out with?" Replying that she was single, Will declared, "Well, you're going out with me now." Laughing at the recollection, Jada says, "Can you believe I fell for that?" Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can. Her life has been filled with immense highs, touring with her band, Wicked Wisdom, the births of her two children, her quote unquote bonus son, Trey, from Will's first marriage, creating the talk show Red Table Talk, and lows, and even lower lows, she says. And yet, she says it's at the lowest part where she began to find clarity. She says, "When I turned 40, I was in so much pain. I couldn't figure a way out besides death. So I made a plan." Jada is aware of how her life looked from the outside, especially about a decade ago. The glamour and the smiles, the mansion, gowns, and movie premieres. If they have it all, wait, they have it all of it all. But while I was really living the dream, I hit a huge wall, a massive amount of depression. I think that I looked at having outside sources to supplement for the voids that I was feeling inside. She said the voices were incoming. "Just kill yourself. You're not worth anything. You ain't ish." Jada began to plot her death. She said she started looking at places, cliffs, where she could have a accident because I didn't want my kids to think that their mother had committed suicide. Okay, that appears to be the cover of the book. The article goes on. Jada says a chance conversation in her own kitchen provided a glimmer of hope. Friends of her son Jaden mentioned that their dad had gone through a ayahuasca ceremony where a leader supplies a plant-based psychedelic drug, usually brewed into a tea to drink, and guides the subject through hallucinations. Ayahuasca helped me. It gave me a new intimate relationship with myself that I had never had before, Jada says. Since the first time that she took the drug, the suicidal thoughts completely went away. Jada says that her husband and children, as adults, okay, we got to emphasize that, have also taken ayahuasca. I'm going to keep my opinion to myself on that. Let's keep reading. She knows that her family life and in particular her marriage are a topic of fascination for many people. She remembers how they first got together. She says, "Will called me up one day and said, 'Hit me when you get to LA,' and then click." And I was like, "Whoa, okay." And so when I got to LA, I called him. I haven't been able to get rid of him since. There's always a little bit of truth behind every joke. Continuing the article, once they got together, Jada says there was no turning back. She was, at the time, while her career was taking off, being treated for depression, suicidal ideation, and taking medication. Once I met Will, I completely abandoned my mental health. I was so intoxicated by him and our dynamic. I really felt like I'm cured. She stopped taking Prozac. He became the drug. Girl, are you guys going to buy her book? And did you get an opportunity to see her interview with Hoda Kotb today? Anyway, let's finish up this article. Their marriage, held in a quiet ceremony in Baltimore on New Year's Eve in 1997, while she was pregnant with Jaden, has long been a subject of fascination by fans. Immediately upon their union, they were crowned Hollywood royalty, which brought a lot of gossip and speculation. She says, we're still figuring it out, Jada says, of the state of their marriage. She said they had been separated for 6 years before the Oscars in 2022. We've been doing some really heavy duty work together. We just got deep love for each other, and we're going to figure out what that looks like for us. As for her kids, my children, they're little gurus. They've taught me a deep sense of self acceptance. They love every part of me. The level of love, unconditional love that they have for me and their dad. Um, hmm. You know they have three kids: Jaden, Willow, and Trey. Trey is from Will's first marriage. Continuing on, and it's one thing to want to be the person that gives that unconditional love, and then there's to be the recipient of that. Jada remembers the moment Jaden saved her life. I've learned how to tune into each one of them and understand their superpowers. And so when Jaden came to me that day and he's like, Mom, you got to hear this. My friend's dad, he had this experience. I need you to come in here and listen. I'm like, I'm there. What is it? And it opened up a whole new world of healing that I'm so grateful for. Okay. Now, the clips are circulating on social media. I'm not going to play any of the clips here because I'm pretty sure that they are definitely copywritten. But if you go to this particular People article, there's a little clip here. And then everybody is posting them on like the Instagram blogs where she had an interview with Hoda Kotb, and she pretty much said that her and Will have been living apart for 7 years now. Hoda did the math. Now, I remember on Red Table Talk a couple years back, Jada Pinkett made it very clear that her and Will never get divorced. So this is no surprise that they're separated, but they're still, legally married. She said she doesn't care if they have to sleep on separate sides of their compound, of their mansion. There is no divorce. She was talking to her mother. I forgot exactly what she was talking about, but they were talking about that. And then also in previous articles that I read like last week, she made it seem like she didn't even want to marry Will. She was pregnant when she got married. She said that her mom, like an excerpt from the book, she was nervous. She was scared. She said that her mom was the one that kind of like forced her, for lack of a better word. I don't want to use the word force, but that's what she said. Kind of forced her into marrying Will because she was pregnant. She basically said that she wasn't ready to be married. So I don't know. Their dynamic is very unique, I guess. Not really, but it's interesting. Jada, you put a lot of your business on Red Table Talk, so I don't understand why you're surprised or, taken aback that people are quote unquote fascinated with your personal life, when you put a lot of your personal life, when it suits you, onto a internet show that's watched by millions of people. But I guess people should mind their business, right? And now here it is, you are promoting a book talking about your life story. So people are definitely going to be curious. And it seems like she was prepared to answer the question about the slap, the Oscar slap. She said she thought it was a skit. She didn't think it was real. So this will be interesting to see the conversation that will be created regarding Jada Pinkett herself being shocked that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. Well, there you have it, y'all. Is anybody surprised that her and Will are separated? I'm not. I mean, when they're in public, they do what they got to do. And when they're apart, they're apart. So are you going to buy her book? More importantly, this is going to be interesting. Well, y'all, that is all I got. Ain't got no more. I want you to drop down in the comments and share your thoughts. Let me know what you think. All right. All right, y'all. Until next time, talk to you later.